iHRMS from Indovision is an intelligent HR solution that is a combination of hardware and software resources designed to manage an organization's computerized and automated human resource processes using web and mobile-based applications. Welcome to Performance Management module of iHRMS. This module is useful in keeping track of employees' performance and task progress. This here is an employee's ID dashboard. In performance management, first part is view lower hierarchy. Here, employee can view and even edit Kra and other related information of their staff members. First, select parent's PMS cycle. PMS means performance management system. Then a child cycle. Submit. Here we got a list of all the staff members of this employee who have submitted their Kra. Kra means key responsibility area. And to know about employees who have not submitted their Kra, click this button. Here is their list with columns of employee code, name, designation, employee status, reporting manager, that is the same employee. And from here we can assign a Kra to this employee. We have to fill these fields and submit Kra here. Kra type, which will be public and private. Kra name, description, category, target, measurement criteria, weightage. From here we can add more Kras. Just remember that the weightage combined of all the Kras should be 100. Now submit. Successfully saved. Now this Kra is assigned to this employee. Now let's return to our table. Here too we have same columns for staff members, their code, name, designation, status, reporting manager, appraisal info. We got the self-appraisal form for staff member with all their Kras. We have Kra name, description, category, target, measurement criteria, weightage, task completed, same thing in percentage, Kra completed. It is taking in consideration the weightage of the Kras. And Kra completed self. This is the self-appraisal. It means the employee has not yet filled their self-appraisal form. See, here too it says 0, even though the Kra is completed till 34%. Next part is view Kra. This is that employee's Kra, and from here we can edit it. For example, we can also change target and even weightage. And we can add another Kra here and then press update Kra. Or we can save it as draft, generate a CSV, that is comma separated value file. Here it is. See, we got the Kra. Or we can recheck the Kra from here. Next part is view reports. This shows Kra's progress until now. See, the tasks done and Kra completed are here. To see the Kra completed in a different time frame, we can check these options. Next is view subordinates. This shows the list of staff members of this employee and their Kra. It's empty because she is not the manager of any employee, or none of our employees have submitted Kra. Let's check next part. View deactivated Kras. Here we have a list of Kras deactivated in this time period. Next part is edit. From here we can change supervisor of this employee. As we are already their supervisor, we can pick any employee and press submit. And with select optional viewer, we can assign their KRA to an employee in this list and press submit. And we can add more. Select an employee and submit, and their KRA will be copied for them. Next part in performance management is add KRA. KRA is key responsibility area. Here an employee add his own KRA, but we got this message. A PMS cycle have different modes, and right now the active PMS cycle is not in KRA initiated mode. Status of PMS cycle can be changed from a super admin ID. So let's go there. This is the super admin ID dashboard in performance management. Performance cycle. Here we first have to select company, financial year, submit. Here's the list of all the PMS cycles, and this one is active, so we should go here. We are in this quarter of the PMS cycle and its status is appraisal, so let's change that. From here we can edit the name and description of the cycle and also the status. Here is KRA initiate mode, update, successfully updated, KRA initiate. Let's get back to the employee ID. Now we can add a KRA for this quarter by filling up these fields and pressing update KRA, or we can copy manager's KRA from here. This is the manager's KRA. Select the checkbox and press import KRA. Here it is. Or we can clone a previous KRA. Select parent PMS for here, child cycle, and submit. This is the KRA of same time period, but we can also clone a older KRA. Select it from here and submit. Here it is. Or we can fill up these fields like enter KRA name, description, category, target, measurement criteria, its weightage in the entire performance. From here we can add more KRAs here like this, or to delete a KRA we can press this button, then update a KRA. But see, the weightage is over 100, so this should throw an error. See, so we should change the weightage, and let's change target to, and now we can save it as draft, submit for final, or generate a CSV file of it. But let's update it. Successfully saved. And now we won't get any save in draft or update KRA buttons, just to generate CSV. Here it is. KRA in a CSV file. Next is employee KRA report. This report, an employee can track his progress according to his KRA. Right now it's empty because our PMS cycle is in KRA initiate mode. It has to be in active mode for it. So let's change that from super admin ID. See, the current quarter or child cycle is in KRA initiate mode. Let's change that. Make the status in active and update. It's inactive now. Let's return to employee ID and refresh. Here it is. This is the KRA we just made, and we have tasks done in numbers, in percentage, and KRA completed. They're all zeros because we haven't completed our timesheet yet. It is in time management module. We have covered time management module in a separate video. In timesheet, select the date from here. We can enter task completed here. Then submit. Task successfully saved. Now this must have reflected in our Kra report. Yes, here it is. And if you want to check the progress in different time periods, we can select from here. Next is employee self-appraisal. It is useful in self-assessment of employees. Here too, select parent cycle, child cycle, submit. Here it is, self-appraisal form for this Kra cycle. It has both Kra details, task completed by system, and empty fields of task completed and comment. Then Kra completed system generated and self. It is 0 because you haven't filled anything here yet. Here employee can fill how much task is completed according to him. Comments. Now we can either save it as draft or submit it for final. Employee can also give themselves rating. Now submit. Appraisal successfully completed. Now if you want to check it, here it is. Task completed and comment. Kra completed self also show data now, and now we cannot change it. Next part is view assigned Kra. Here employee can view Kra assigned to him by super admin. First select parent cycle, child cycle and submit. This is the Kra assigned to this employee. Here we have employee code, name, designation, employee status, reporting manager of the person whose Kra is assigned to our employee. And with view Kra, we can view his Kra. Here it is. Next part in performance management is link Kra. It is useful in linking employees' Kra tasks with their manager's Kra. First select parent PMS cycle, child cycle and submit. We got the list of staff members with their code, name, designation, employee status, reporting manager. In view subordinates, we can see their staff members with same table columns. And in link Kra, we can link employee Kra tasks with manager Kra. These are the Kras of manager. Select a Kra and submit. Manager Kra successfully linked for this Kra. This one. See? This was all about performance management system in employee ID. Now let's check super admin ID, as this module is not present in admin ID. This is the super admin ID dashboard in performance management. First part is performance cycle. Here too we have to select company or branch name first, financial year and submit. We got a table of all the PMS cycles with column name of year, name, description, number of cycles, status, created by, view and edit. They have all the functions of PMS cycles, but let's first create a new PMS cycle. Here we have to fill all these fields. Begin with name and description. We cannot fill company and year, they are already set. Number of cycles, cycle start date, cycle end date, We could have also set this date with this date picker. Now create. Successfully created. PMS now with 4 child cycles and status is draft. Now to make our cycle active, we have to first change status of this PMS3 cycle, as 2 cycles cannot have active status. So we can change it from this edit option. Update. Successfully updated. Now we can change status of our cycle to active with this edit button. Name and description can also be changed here. And in status we have different modes. These modes are actually in chronological order from when the cycle was created to when it was finished. When cycle is first created, it is in draft mode. When status is made active, employees can add their KRA and fill in their timesheet. Appraisal mode is useful at the end of the cycle for appraisal of employees by manager, HR, and employees themselves. And status is set to complete when the cycle is finished. But we were making our cycle active, so we select that and update. Successfully updated. Here it is, active now. With this eye icon, we can view child cycle of our PMS cycles, their name, description, start and end date, status, and view edit. We can edit a child cycle from here. We can also change its name and description, for example this, but we cannot change cycle start date and end date. And in status we have different modes. They too are in chronological order. Cycle is in draft mode when it's first created. In KRA initiate mode, employees can create their KRA and upload it. In active mode, they fill up their timesheet daily. In appraisal mode, their assessment is done by their manager, HR, and employee themselves at the end of the child cycle. And final publish is when the child cycle is completed. We are selecting KRA initiate and update. Successfully updated. So now it is in KRA initiate mode. Now we can change status of child cycle to any other mode as long as its parent cycle has active status. For example, if we change its status to some other mode with this edit button, like appraisal mode, and update, it's changed. Now if we want to change status of a child cycle to any other mode, update, we should get an error message. Here it is. It wants us to activate the parent cycle first, and it's the right thing. So let's do that. Here it is, our PMS now cycle. Change it to active, update. Now we can change status of any child cycle to any other mode. Done. Status is changed. Now let's see the next part. View lower hierarchy. Here a superadmin can check KRA progress and appraisals of employees. First select parent PMS cycle, child cycle, and submit. We have got employees under superadmin that have submitted their KRA. And here we have the list of employees that have not. These are those employees. And with this eye icon, we can assign a KRA to him. Just fill up this form or clone a previous KRA or import from manager's KRA and press submit. Now let's check this table. Here we have column for employee code, name, designation, status, reporting manager. As this employee don't have any reporting manager, it shows NA. Appraisal info, then view KRA, reports, subordinates, deactivated KRAs, self-appraisal status, manager rating, HR rating, and reject appraisal, and edit. Let's see them one by one. Appraisal info. Here we got self-appraisal form for the employee with KRA information, task completed in system by number and percentage and by self, comment, KRA completed in system and by self, self-appraisal ratings, and this is reporting manager appraisal. We can change it from here. Submit. Appraisal successfully completed. Now let's check it here. Here it is, manager ratings. Next is view KRA. Here is our employee's KRA for this cycle. We can also edit it. Or add another KRA from here. Then save it as a draft. Update KRA, generate a CSV Excel file, or reject the entire KRA. Next part is view reports. Here is the employee KRA report. We got this report by changing the status of PMS child cycle to active. Earlier it was in appraisal mode. Here we have KRA data, then tasks done in numbers, percentage, and KRA completed percentage. Next is view subordinates. It gives the KRA and appraisal data for employees under this employee. They are staff members. It's a similar table with employee details first, then self-appraisal info, KRA, KRA report, subordinates, staff members, deactivated KRAs, self-appraisal status, manager ratings, HR rating, and an option to reject appraisal and edit. To reject an appraisal, we have to select the checkbox, then reject appraisal, and then press submit. It will reject all the appraisals of employee. With the edit option, we can change the employee's supervisor. Just select a new employee from here and submit. And with add optional viewer, we can assign this employee's KRA to the one that we select from here and press submit. We can add more employees with this button. Now let's return to our table. We have covered subordinates. Now next is view deactivated KRA. It gives a list of all the deactivated KRAs in the same time period as the present KRA. Here we have KRA details, then deactivated by and deactivated date. Next is self-appraisal status ratings that the employee has given to himself. They are manager ratings that we have just given to the employee, HR ratings, and reject appraisal. And with the edit button, again we can change the supervisor of the employee and assign employees KRA to other employees with select optional viewer. Next is add ratings. Here super admin can define ratings to be given to an employee during a PMS cycle. First select company, year, cycle from their financial year, and submit. Here we got the child cycle table for PMS 3 cycle. It's a similar table with name, description, start and end date, company name, and add and remove ratings. In here we have enter rating type and description. Here we already have few ratings. To add a new rating, enter here and description. We can add more ratings with this button. And to delete a rating, press this button. Now save. Data successfully saved. Here it is. Now the next part is employee recommendation. It is useful in knowing how well an employee is recommended for a raise. Select company, financial year, PMS cycle from that year and submit. In this table, we have 4 child cycles of our PMS cycle. This one, with their details of name, description, start and end date, company name, then the list of employees with pending recommendation. This is that table with employee code, name, company name, then all the ratings and descriptions. Next is recommendation employees list. And here we can enter the raise percentage. We just have to select the employee from this checkbox and enter raise percentage here. Submit. Success. Increment successfully completed for this employee. And now this employee is in the list of completed appraisal employees. And here we can find the recommendation percentage that we just entered. Next part is view completed recommendation employees list. This is the same table that we just saw with employee details and ratings and descriptions and raise percentage. Now the next part is HR appraisal. Here super admin can check and assign HR appraisal ratings to employees. They are also called the final ratings. First select company, financial year, cycle, submit. Here too we first get the details of the child cycles of this PMS cycle. Then we have pending HR appraisal employees list. Here we got the list of employees who have not yet received HR ratings. Let's search an employee here. Here too we first have employee details, company name, reporting manager, then ratings and descriptions, view Kra and reject manager appraisal. By clicking this, we can reject these manager appraisals. Next is HR appraisal employees list. Here super admin can give final ratings to employees. Select the employee by checking the box, then HR ratings and submit. Now that employee appears in the list of employees with completed HR ratings. This is a very similar table with all the ratings and description, and from here we can view the Kra. Next part is completed HR appraisals employees list. It is the same list that we just saw. Next part in performance management module is edit reporting managers. Here super admin can assign reporting managers to employees for a PMS child cycle. First select company, financial year, cycle. Again we got the table for child cycles of this PMS cycle and 2 new columns for generate default approvers and approver status. In status, this approvers already generated in green means the reporting managers are already assigned to employees. But in this child cycle, they are not assigned yet. So we can do it from here, generate default approvers. In the table, we have a column for employee code, name, company name, and reporting manager. We can select a new reporting manager from the list. And then save approvers. Approvers successfully updated. Now if we want to check it, see approver status is in green now. Next part in PMS module is link Kra. We have seen this part in employee ID 2, and it is used to link employee Kra tasks with manager Kra. First select parent cycle, child cycle, submit. We got the list of all the employees who have submitted their KRAs. Table have columns for employee name and code, designation, employee status, reporting manager name, view subordinates, and link KRA. Super admin gets a list of all the employees in the company, so view subordinates don't do anything here. That means for this employee, his staff members are already in the list. This one and this one. See? This option is useful in employee ID. In link KRA, we got the table with all the KRAs, KRA details, and a new column of manager KRA. Now if you want to link this KRA tasks with manager KRA, you have to select manager name here. And if we don't want to link this one, then leave it to select KRA and press submit. See, KRA successfully linked for name of KRA, which was the name of this KRA. Now back to the table. And with this button, we can see KRA of all these employees. Here they are, list of all the KRAs. You can also link KRA from here. We just have to select manager KRA. See, these are the KRA names of this employee. Here they are. Select one of them and press submit. Success. Manager KRA successfully linked for this KRA. And with this button, we can download KRA Excel file.